According to The Hollywood Reporter, there's bad news for the cast and crew of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Apparently, they're not quite satisfied with the final outcome of the film, which means that they will have to do a lot of additional shooting. The plan is for a 6-week period of 6 days each week, though it's entirely possible that this is still an optimistic estimate. There are various insider sources, all of which say something different about the exact reason. Some say that additional shooting is not unusual, while others claim that massive changes are in the works and the project could stretch into the next year. We believe that all in all, the whole thing can be regarded in a fairly laid-back manner. Subsequent filming is really nothing unusual in Hollywood, although it is of course possible that the release date may also be delayed by a few weeks. As soon as we hear more details, we will let you know, of course. So far, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is scheduled for release on May 6th, 2022. So far, 2021 seems to be a successful year for director Ridley Scott. With House of Gucci and The Last Duel, he's releasing 2 major films this year. After the release of House of Gucci, the next project will be Kidback, a movie about the French Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte. This is followed in turn by a big sequel to Gladiator. The classic from 2000 thrilled movie audiences with its story about the Roman general Maximus, and now, more than 20 years later, it is time for a sequel. The conception of the screenplay appears not to have been quite straightforward, given that the intention is not to merely replicate the first part. Now, director Scott seems to be completely satisfied with the end result. The plot of Gladiator 2 mainly revolves around the nephew of Commodus, who's embodied by Joaquin Phoenix in the original. Time-wise, this story takes place about 25 to 30 years after the first part, so the time jump is similar to the time that has actually passed since the release of the original movie. Also, fans can look forward to an appearance of Russell Crowe, who played the main character Maximus in the previous part. When exactly Gladiator 2 will be released is not yet known at this point. Last week was the big advertised Disney Plus Day. The celebration of the streaming service's anniversary naturally included all kinds of news about upcoming movies and series. Especially under the Disney brand, there was a lot to report. Among them were the live-action and animated mix Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers, and the remake of Cheaper by the Dozen starring Zach Braff and Gabrielle Union, which are scheduled for release in spring 2022. Meanwhile, Hocus Pocus 2 with Bette Midler, Kathy Najimy, and Sarah Jessica Parker, and Disenchanted 2 with Amy Adams and Patrick Dempsey are scheduled to hit Disney Plus in the fall. Needless to say, Marvel fans weren't left out either, with announcements for She-Hulk, Agatha, House of Darkness, Hawkeye, the What If spin-off Marvel Zombies, a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, X-Men 97, and much more. In our opinion, the really big announcements were unfortunately missing. Star Wars fans in particular were left out in the cold, as nothing was revealed besides a behind-the-scenes clip of Obi-Wan Kenobi and some extremely short clips from the series. Another drawback is that without a Disney Plus account, you cannot watch the full promo material, as you need a subscription to do so. Nevertheless, it was an eventful day for Disney and above all, of course, for Marvel fans. Warner Brothers will soon be celebrating the 20th anniversary of its world-famous Harry Potter movie series. Back then, Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson bewitched every viewer in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and so it is really not surprising that they will also be a major element of the anniversary ceremony on January 1st, 2022 on HBO Max. To be expected are various interviews and talk shows with the trio and many other colleagues, including Ralph Fiennes, Gary Oldman, Tom Felton, Helena Bonham Carter, and of course director Chris Columbus. Fittingly, a first trailer has been released to tease the event. On Instagram, Emma Watson already revealed that she was looking forward to pulling out the time turner one last time. An appearance by Harry Potter creator J.K. Rowling is probably not to be anticipated, as she has been excluded from public dialogue for some time. It remains to be seen to what degree the special will then be broadcast in other parts of the world where there is no HBO Max. He worked on the script for the 5th part until the very end, but unfortunately he passed away in July this year. The talk is about filmmaker Richard Donner, of course, who not only created Lethal Weapon, but is also responsible for the cult movies Superman, Scrooge, and The Goonies. Despite his impressive age of 91, Donner insisted on continuing to write the script for Lethal Weapon 5 because he felt it was his duty to complete the series. After his passing, many had already dismissed the idea of a late sequel, but now there's good news for Lethal Weapon fans. At a fan event in London, Hollywood star Mel Gibson announced that he had already spoken with the Goonies star Corey Feldman regarding said sequel, and that even Richard Donner himself had encouraged him during his lifetime to direct the film should he pass away. The decision was therefore easy for him to make, especially since Donner's script is said to have been quite developed. Gibson should also have enough Lethal Weapon experience. After all, he played the lead role 4 times between 1987 and 1998 together with Danny Glover. The plot itself is still top secret, and we hope that filming will begin soon under Gibson's direction. The brand new trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home has been available on our channel since last Wednesday. The video, which is slightly over 2.5 minutes long, not only sets the mood for the third and probably last MCU Spider-Man movie, but is also filled with many hidden details. In this video, we introduce you to the most important Easter eggs and clues about the upcoming blockbuster, and also address the question as to why the trailer should convince even the last critic that Andrew Garfield and probably also Tobey Maguire will be appearing in the film. One notable aspect is the first peek at one of the new Spidey suits. We see a black and gold superhero outfit that was obviously co-designed by Doctor Strange. In the dark light, you cannot make out too many details, but at least you can see one of the Doctor's familiar sigils. In another shot, you can see Spider-Man's main suit, which is designed similarly to the one from Far From Home, but featuring gold accents instead. What we are also very pleased to find is the brief appearance of J. Jonah Jameson in the trailer. Nostalgics in particular will be delighted to see the head of the Daily Bugle, who became an indispensable figure in Sam Raimi's very first Spider-Man movie. However, Doc Ock's tentacles have received a small makeover. Not only does the fresh red paint job stand out, but the tentacles are also significantly larger. Could this be a sign that Doc Ock is using nanotechnology just like Spidey's iron suit? With the addition of the Green Goblin, we also get to see another villain. We were especially pleased to see the voice of Willem Dafoe, who to all appearances will once again impersonate the iconic villain of the first part. He's also spotted in a short sequence wearing a different suit from the one he wore in the 2002 film. In another epic scene, we get to see 3 adversaries at once: Electro on the left, Sandman in the middle, and Lizard on the right. The first 2 could already be guessed in the previous trailer, while Lizard is newly included and looks visually the same as before. Hopefully different from before will be the deep fall of Peter's girlfriend, which also occurs in The Amazing Spider-Man and did not end well for Gwen Stacy. Let's conclude with 2 hints that point to a return of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. In an international version of the trailer, in the scene where Lizard wants to jump on an invisible person, you can see him obviously getting hit in the face, while Tom Holland's Spider-Man doesn't even touch him. This looks very much like they digitally cut out another Spider-Man here. In another scene where MJ falls off the scaffolding, you can see parts of his suit arm on the railing for only a few frames. This would again match with the video of Andrew Garfield on the set of the movie, which has been circulating around the web for a few weeks. What do you think? Were Sony and Marvel being careless here, or did they leave these mistakes in to fuel the speculation even further? Feel free to tell us in the comments. Spider-Man No Way Home will be released on Friday, December 17th, 2021. As you have already heard in our news, the second trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home is an absolute must-see on our channel and should therefore not be missed by any movie fan. If you also want to dive deeper into a probable second season of Squid Game, then don't miss out our latest original.